Hello everyone, welcome to Inconvenient Truths. I'm your host, Jennifer Zheng. While the U.S. military is actively preparing for a possible CCP military invasion of Taiwan, on July 27th, the British Defense Secretary said that if a conflict breaks out over Taiwan, Britain is ready to fight in the Pacific region. At the same time, some Australian politicians are calling to strengthen their defense to deal with the crisis brought by the CCP's military expansion. However, for a more hidden and even more dangerous crisis, the international community seems not to have realized it, let alone discuss it or come up with ways to deal with it. I don't know how many people have heard about the voting results of Taiwan's big recall event on July 26. This big recall was started by civilian groups against dozens of pro-CCP lawmakers and officials. 2 days before the vote, as many as 100,000 people showed up at a rally to support this movement. Many people in Taiwan who understand the CCP's evil intentions were excited and hopeful. They believed the recall would succeed, especially since the CCP's global image is crumbling. There were 24 people on the ballot for July 26. If just 6 had been removed, the ruling Democratic Progressive Party DPP could have regained majority control in the legislature. Then they wouldn't have to be held back by the pro-communist Kuomintang and Taiwan People's Party in everything like now, even to the point where they can't get anything done. But not a single person was recalled. The campaign ended in failure, shocking and disappointing many Taiwanese. This result also exposed just how deeply the CCP has already infiltrated Taiwan. What's even more deadly is that the CCP seems to have figured out the code to how to use the democratic system to beat the democratic system. But democratic societies or democratic systems so far seems not to have found the code to crack the CCP's plot. I don't know how many people in Taiwan and the international community realize that this big recall movement happening in Taiwan is not a fight between Taiwan's Democratic Progressive Party and the Kuomintang or Taiwan People's Party. It's actually a proxy war controlled from thousands of miles away. The real mastermind is not in Taiwan, but in Beijing. These pro-CCP lawmakers in Taiwan are exactly the first wave of pawns in the CCP's plan for a legal takeover of the island. The first step in the CCP's playbook is to cause chaos in Taiwan, but in a way that can be controlled. Here's how. 1. Pro-CCP makers push highly controversial bills. 2. Pro-CCP media and online trolls stir up both sides. 3. Crowds from both camps flood the streets. 4. Fights and even bloody violence break out near the legislature. Once society is torn apart, trust disappears. People won't trust the news, the police, or even each other. Taiwanese society will be divided between freedom and stability. Beijing school will be halfway complete. Taiwan's military is designed to fight external enemies, not internal chaos. If the president sends in troops to stop riots, pro-CCP lawmakers will accuse the government of becoming a dictatorship. International media will repeat this claim, and headlines will say Taiwan's president is cracking down on protesters. Suddenly, the military becomes stuck. If commanders follow orders, they are seen as criminals. If they refuse, they are traitors. So they stay silent. The police, they are outnumbered, afraid to act, and under constant pressure from media and politicians. The entire government becomes paralyzed. The final move is the dead list, a vote in Taiwan's legislature. In a serious and formal emergency meeting, lawmakers controlled by the pro-CCP forces read out a statement. Due to complete disorder in Taiwan and to prevent a humanitarian disaster, we formally invite peacekeeping forces from the mainland to restore order. No mention of PLA, no talk of unification. But once this invitation passes, the Chinese military can land openly. The CCP will announce to the world, this isn't an invasion, this is a legal request from Taiwan's top democratic body. The world, caught off guard, will be speechless. Taiwan's democracy will be buried by democratic procedures themselves. Before we continue, let's take a quick break to introduce a great product that can help protect your eyes. You know, many of us, including children, spend way too much time staring at screens every day, far beyond the safe limit of 2 to 3 hours. As a result, our eyes often feel tired, dry, and in some cases, even develop more serious issues. But here is the solution. All natural WiseQuest eye patches. Just place the patches around your eyes for a few hours while you sleep or even during the day while working. The herbal essence in the patches is absorbed through acupuncture points around the eyes, helping to relieve discomfort and improve your eye health. It's easy, safe, and highly effective. You can feel the difference in just 5 minutes. So grab a set for yourself or your family using the link in the comments or description. Buying this product not only helps your eyes, but also helps support this channel so I can keep sharing more inconvenient truths. All right, let's get back to our discussing on Taiwan's hidden and urgent danger. The first sign this plan is working is in Taiwan's legislature. A so-called reform bill has passed. It gives pro-CCP lawmakers 3 dangerous powers. 1. Contempt of Congress. If an official gives a vague answer or shows a bad attitude, lawmakers can send them to court. 2. Unlimited investigation. They can investigate anyone, defense ministers, intel leaders, even business owners. 3. Force the president to testify. This breaks the balance of power and humiliates the presidency. These rules are not for oversight. They are political weapons designed to silence the government. While the CCP's threats grow, Taiwan's legislature is slashing the defense budget. No money for missiles, radars, or bunkers. Military leaders are worried. Soldiers fear they won't be able to protect Taiwan and are being silenced politically. The mood in the ministry is sinking, and the CCP loves it. The CCP's next steps are just as dangerous. 1. Paralyze the oversight system. Taiwan's top watchdog agency, the Control Yuan, can't function because pro-CCP lawmakers have blocked key appointments. 2. Hijack the budget. Pro-CCP lawmakers are trying to bypass the executive branch and hand out money directly. Today it's cash to voters, but tomorrow it could be funds to welcome the PLA. If Taiwan's budget, defense, and oversight collapse, the government becomes an empty shell, ready for takeover. Isn't this situation very scary? This is exactly the steps and plan for taking over Taiwan from inside, planned by the CCP's United Front Work Department. So, Wang Huning, the chairman of the National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, who is in charge of United Front Work and Taiwan affairs for the CCP, issued an internal order saying that there is no need to consider the 2028 Taiwan election issue anymore, because in the CCP's plan, Taiwan's elections will be ended, abolished, erased from history before 2028. Taiwan's sovereignty will be stripped away. Ballots will no longer exist. If we carefully observe everything happening in Taiwanese society, we can see the CCP's secret plot unfolding step by step. Recently, Gao Zhikai, who once served as Deng Xiaoping's translator and a top CCP propagandist, publicly claimed that peaceful reunification is unlikely and war is too costly. Instead, Taiwan should have its own Xi'an incident. He wants someone inside Taiwan to arrest President Lai Ching-te and then invite the CCP's security forces to take over, just like in the 1936 Xi'an incident that saved the CCP and stopped the Kuomintang from crushing them. Gao's ideas lines up perfectly with the CCP's secret plan for a bloodless invasion. The Xi'an incident took place in 1936 when two top generals appointed by the nationalist government, Zhang Xueliang and Yang Hucheng, captured Chiang Kai-shek, who was then chairman of the military committee and president of the executive yuan. They demanded that he stop suppressing the communists and instead immediately resist Japan as they insisted. It was this incident that ultimately saved the Chinese Communist Party. The Kuomintang stopped its anti-communist campaign and began the second united front with the CCP. In other words, the CCP, originally just a group of bandits, managed to attach itself to the nationalist government, drain its resources, build up its strength, and eventually seize power, forcing Chiang Kai-shek and his government to retreat to Taiwan. Now, Gao Zhikai is openly calling for a second Xi'an incident. His remarks closely match leaked reports from Beijing suggesting that the CCP intends to take over Taiwan through a bloodless war. If Taiwan's legislature really invites the CCP's forces, can the US and international community still intervene? If not, wouldn't the CCP's plot and plan succeed? Isn't that terrifying? So, is there still a way to stop it? Yes, and it might be the only way. We must do everything possible to help the Taiwanese people understand the CCP's plot. They need to realize this is a life and death battle. Only by using their votes to fully resist the CCP's infiltration and destruction can they protect Taiwan's constitutional system, national sovereignty, and future. Well, that's all for today. Once again, please consider supporting me by purchasing the wonderful eye patches I recommended earlier, or by visiting my website at jenniferzengblog.com to sign up for a membership or make a donation. Your support makes it possible for me to continue telling the inconvenient truths. Thank you, and see you next time.